back to Planet Nibiru. Before we jump into the news, I just wanted to say that I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in and being part of this community. And I know that sometimes it is hard to be maybe the only person either that you know, or the only person in your family, or one of your only friends who know what's really going on, who can see this entire picture, who can see the world for the way that it truly is. And sometimes you can go through some depressing times and you can get bummed out, you can get to a place where you just don't feel like it's worth it or whatever, and I assure you that it is worth it. You may not be able to change people's minds. People may tell you, hey, I'm sick of hearing about it, or you're crazy, or whatever, and that's fine. But when things do happen, you will be in the best position to help everybody. So know that. Know that by sharpening your senses, by taking the time to learn what's really going on, and to taking the time to either prepare mentally or even physically for what's to come. And certainly, you should be prepared spiritually for what's to come. By doing that, you're going to be helping everyone when the time comes. You're going to be the person who is not stuck in place in awe of the events. You're going to be able to move and make decisions because you've been prepared for this mentally. So don't get too depressed. Don't get too worn out. Now, the big news coming up this week is the record cold coming to the almost the entire USA. Low temperature records are set to be shattered from coast to coast. By the end of next week, some states will be running more than 36 degrees below normal. This is going to be huge. Right now, this is all up in Alaska, and it's building, and it's going to be pushed down through Canada and then throughout the United States. And as you can see from this little map here, that it looks like most of the United States is really going to get hit. The Midwest, the upper Midwest, looks like it's going to get hit the hardest. However, the rest of us are still going to get hit, and pretty much no matter where you are, unless you're in very, very South Florida, very, very South Texas, you should be feeling the effects of this all the way up into Massachusetts and northern New York. So everybody's going to get a piece of this. So make the preparations that you need to make for that by making sure you keep animals inside, make sure your pipes are insulated, make sure that you leave one of your faucets dripping at night if it's getting really, really cold in your area. Once it gets below, say 10 below or 12 below zero, you really need to make sure that you're doing something to make sure that your pipes don't burst. So make sure that you are doing that. And that is the big upcoming piece of information. Now, we do have some things that we talked about this week, like that footage from Japan that we saw. And, I mean, this footage, when you're looking at it, is just crazy. I mean, they had this earthquake that was offshore, again, near the Fukushima region. It came in and devastated some of the local area. Thank God it didn't hit the Fukushima plant again, and thank God it wasn't nearly as big as the last tsunami that came in. But again, this one was pretty devastating, pretty bad stuff here. And the rest of the world still continues to act foolish and continue on its self-destructive path towards world war, fighting over Syria, silly things that could be avoided. And if it wasn't for them having to redirect our attention all the time from what's really going on, we could actually solve some of these problems that are happening. Unfortunately, though, our attention is being redirected at all times. That's why they call it TV programming. That is why most people are dead set against things that make absolute sense. Most people are sold on this climate change idea. Climate change is happening, however, the reasons for it are not man-made. The reasons for it, if it was man-made, climate change wouldn't be happening on other planets. We wouldn't be seeing spikes in temperature on Mars and things like that at the core. Some of these planets are heating up from their cores, which means that it's friction that's happening. What could cause this? Again, another incoming object with an opposite polarity. When I say polarity, I mean electrical polarity, positive and negative. If you have something that's pulling on you and now it's causing more friction, that's going to heat up. So we know that these things are happening across our galaxy. And when this other group of planets, or this dwarf star with planets in tow, whatever you want to call it, when it comes in, what it's going to do will make what's happening now seem like just a walk in the park. So right now, be happy for the calm before the storm, because even though it doesn't seem like it, even though it seems like we're having earthquakes every day, we're having volcanoes every day, we are definitely getting away with a lot right now. Obviously, when this comes to its worst, we'll be in a much, much worse situation. But don't think that those who are in the bunkers and all that are going to have it just super easy and super safe. There's no guarantee that by being in a bunker or by being underground that you're going to escape what's going on. Wherever you are could be covered by water, in which case you are dead. And wherever you are could experience extreme earthquakes and seismic activity, which could crush your bunker, which could leave you trapped in your bunker. So there's a lot of things that don't necessarily mean that you're going to survive if you have a bunker. I mean, now if you have the ability to have a bunker and have one there and available, I would definitely say that's an excellent thing to have, and I would make use of that. However, I would make use of it in the smartest way possible. If I didn't need to be underground just yet, I wouldn't be underground just yet. I would make sure that everything I did was the smartest thing I could do. If it was smart to remain above ground, then I would remain above ground. If I'm having seismic activity, I definitely don't want to be above or below ground, unless there's an incoming shower of asteroids or meteorites or whatever it is, small little tiny ones that are shooting and hitting everything like a shotgun, and you just can't be above ground. You have to be in a cave, you have to be in some type of bunker. Well, then you need to be in it. But don't think that just because you don't have the money that you're not going to survive. A lot of people are going to survive this thing. A lot of people are going to get through it, and we will create a new Earth on the other side. We will build again. This is only something that comes around every once and every so often. I can't really say, because there's so many theories out there, between the 3600 year theory of Sitchin down to the 300 or so year theory of Gil-Broussard, and they both have their pros and cons. They both have merit, so I can't really say how often this thing comes, but what I can say is that we are definitely experiencing the effects of this thing. So get ready for some cold, and we will talk to you soon.